All praise is due to Allah, the sovereign creator of the universe, the God of no equal. Peace and blessings be upon the last messenger of God, the seal of the prophets, Muhammad, the son of Abdullah al-Hashimiyah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Madam Speaker, today I arise before you not merely as a representative of my constituency, but as humble voice for our planet. A planet besieged by the relentless onslaught of climate change. Madam Speaker, the heat wave that grips our nation today, that grips our region, is not simply a natural phenomenon. It is a clarion call, a desperate plea from Mother Earth herself for us to wake from our slumber and confront the grave threats that loom on the horizon. Let us cast our gaze upon my province, Lanao del Sur, a land for the first time in many, many years, scarred by flames. 14 na spontaneous bushfire ang rumagasa sa Lanao del Sur mula Enero nitong taong ito. We commend the provincial government led by the proactive Governor Mamintal Bombit Alonto ADIONG Jr. for taking measures limiting the affected area of these fires. These fires, Madam Speaker, that rage across this province are not merely bushfires. They are infernos born of neglect, fueled by our collective indifference to the cries of a planet pushed to the brink. These flames, unprecedented in their ferocity and scale, are a damning indictment of our failure to heed the warnings, to take decisive action in the face of impending disaster. Madam Speaker, it is not only the fires that threaten our very existence. It is also the silent betrayal of our waters. Behold the critical level of Lake Lanao, one of the 5 ancient lakes of the world. Once a majestic reservoir, now reduced to a mere shadow of its former self. Its waters recede like the fading hope of a people abandoned by their guardians. Its water level now on the brink of collapse. Ang level ng Lanao Lake ay 0.35 metro na lang sa nakatalagang critical level. If we do not act swiftly and decisively, if we do not heed the warnings of scientists and experts and environmentalists alike, this lake, this lifeblood of Lanao del Sur will become but a parched memory, a testament to our collective apathy and neglect. The provincial government is doing everything in its power, but ultimately it is a matter of national importance. The whole of Mindanao, Madam Speaker, draws power from the Agus Pulangi hydroelectric power plant, and these waters drying up may ultimately lead to loss of this important power source, which is Lake Lanao. Madam Speaker, let us not forget the repeated suspensions of school classes, a stark reminder of the toll that this heat wave exacts on our children, on our future. Sa unang pagkakataon, kinakailangan natin magsuspende ng klase nang hindi dahil sa bagyo. Let us not condemn them to suffer in sweltering classrooms, our children, our learners, deprived of the basic right to a safe and conducive learning environment. Let us take heed of their plight and act swiftly to ensure that they are spared the worst of this climate change. Karapatan ng mga estudyante nating makapag-aral ng matiwasay at ligtas sa heat stroke at heat exhaustion. Consider, Madam Speaker, for instance, the hottest days recorded in Metro Manila this year, breaking records several times over, with air temperatures soaring to a staggering 38.8 degrees Celsius. This is not merely an anomaly. It is a warning sign of things to come if we do not take immediate and decisive action. Madam Speaker, since 2023, the United Nations has sounded the alarm of global boiling, a term coined by UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres to emphasize the severity of the change we are experiencing. This global phenomenon, marked by extreme temperatures and deadly consequences, demands urgent action from governments and societies worldwide. Consider the warnings issued by the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAGASA, cautioning that 33, including Metro Manila, are at risk of reaching dangerous heat index levels this May. The heat index, as measurement of how hot it feels when relative humidity is combined with the actual air temperature, has soared to alarming heights, breaking records with a high of 45 degrees Celsius in Metro Manila alone. Pag-asa has warned that a heat index between 42 degrees Celsius and 51 degrees Celsius indicate impending danger, as heat cramps and heat exhaustion are likely to happen, and heat stroke is possible with continued activity. Madam Speaker, this is not a mere anomaly. It is a warning sign of things to come if we do not take immediate and decisive action. Furthermore, severe dry spells during the El Niño season inflict significant economic damage. In 2010, reports from the Inquirer revealed that El Niño triggered droughts, resulting in approximately $240 million, which amounts to 13 billion pesos worth of damage to rice crops in the Philippines. The Asian Development Bank estimated in 2015 that severe dry spells could incur damages ranging from $700 to $800 million to $800 million, which amounts to 30 to 43 billion pesos. The World Bank's findings in 2016 indicated that over 400,000 farmers and 55,000 hectares of farmland will be affected by dry El Niño conditions, leading to agricultural production losses totaling to $327 million or 17.78 billion pesos. Simulations by the World Bank demonstrated that during intense El Niño events, the country could suffer national GDP losses amounting to $3.3 billion or 179 billion pesos. The percentage losses, according to Asian Development Bank, are particularly significant in agriculture, where GDP decreases by nearly 7%. Regionally, GDP losses vary within the Philippines. Agricultural GDP declines by 1.9% in Luzon during a severe El Niño, but a 1.4% in Mindanao, as stated by the World Bank. Additionally, in 2018, a poultry farm in Pangasinan reported the death of 1,000 chickens due to heat stroke, occurring just 2 days after a 9-hour power outage. This is alarming, Madam Speaker, considering that experts warn that the El Niño phenomenon will become more severe and more frequent. In the earlier part of 2000, Madam Speaker, they have warned us that in 15 years gap, the country will experience El Niño in 15-year gap. But now, sabi po nila, bawat 3 taon na lang. Mas naging frequent, mas mamadalas. Madam Speaker, we commend the proactive stand taken by the Marcos administration, exemplified by the establishment of Task Force El Niño in December of last year, and the introduction of a national plan to address the challenges posed by El Niño phenomenon. Guided by the National Action Plan for El Niño, the government has delineated 5 critical sectors where comprehensive strategies and actions are being deployed to mitigate its effect. These sectors encompass water management, food security, power supply, healthcare, and public safety. Moreover, Madam Speaker, we extend our commendation to the Department of Interior and Local Government, or DILG, for issuing Memorandum Circular 065 Series of 2023 on April 25, 2023. This directive offers essential guidelines and recommendations to local government units, equipping them to effectively address the impact of El Niño on both health and economy. Additionally, Madam Speaker, we praise the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, for its implementation of programs such as LAWA and BINHI. These initiatives are tailored to specifically aid the most vulnerable segments of our society, particularly the impoverished, who bear the disproportionate disproportionate burden of worsening climate conditions. These proactive measures demonstrate a steadfast commitment to safeguarding the welfare of all citizens amidst the challenges posed by the El Niño phenomenon. This May, Madam Speaker, the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, or BARM, government declared a state of calamity due to the severe impacts of El Niño. The declaration aims to aid affected communities and expedite government interventions, allowing for the stabilization of price of essential goods, allocation of funds for rescue and recovery efforts, and ensuring the continuous provision of basic services to affected populations. Madam Speaker, fear not, for in the darkness lies an opportunity to rise from the ashes of our past mistakes and forge a future worthy of our children's dreams. Hindi pa po huli ang lahat. Pero, kailangan nating kumilos na. We have to have an institutionalized program for us to prepare ourselves when El Niño phenomenon strikes again. Just as we prepare for storms with disaster response plans, let us also prepare for the heat waves that will become more frequent and severe. We commend the proactive stand again by this administration. Madam Speaker, let us invest in the early warning systems, in infrastructure that could withstand the heat, in policies that prioritize the well-being of our people and our planet. Let us protect our forests, our lakes, our very souls from the ravages of greed and ignorance, from the relentless march of progress unchecked by conscience or compassion. We must revisit all our disaster preparedness laws and ensure that we are preparing for the heat as well, not just the typhoons. We must close all the legislative gaps that we find in climate preparedness and mitigation, and we must bear the environmental impact in mind in every legislative decision we make. I implore you, my esteemed colleagues, to heed the call of history, to rise above the petty squabbles of politics, and let us be united in the defense of our planet. For if we fail to act now, if we turn a blind eye to the fires that rage around us, we will be complicit in our own destruction. The time for action is now, Madam Speaker, before it is too late, before the flames of our folly consume us all and leave naught but ashes in their wake. Maraming salamat po, Madam Speaker, at magandang hapon po sa ating lahat.